So I call to order this commission meeting, March 27th, 2025. We can have everybody rise for flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Landgraf,
Here.
Commissioner Mento is absent. Mayor Kribel.
Here. I'd just like to take a minute before we get into the meeting to have a moment of silence for a longtime resident and employee for 37 years. Mr. Mike Warbeck passed away earlier this week. Would kick it over to
Sure.
his director.
Yeah. We'll do the moment of silence. Have just a few comments. Yeah, Mike worked for us, Public Works, for 37 years. He started March 24th, 1988, and passed away on March 24th, 2025. So 37 years to the day.
Wow.
From starting. So really well-liked guy in the Public Works. If you ever saw the D940, the big loader running around town, that's who was driving it. The big thing that did all the maintenance on the beach and pretty much did everything. Heard some stories from some of the guys that we're not going to talk about what he did with that thing. So carried some things around that just helping people out. You know, there was things that happened and you need something big to move it, and he helped move it. So just a good guy. You know, I was over with volunteer firefighter in Summers Point. Before that, I think he was in Northfield as well. Leaves behind family, wife Donna, and son and a daughter. So it's a shame for him and his family, but you know, we were happy to have him in Public Works as long as we did. It's a loss for our guys. His family, his brother Steve is a retired firefighter from Atlantic City. So he and Donna and the daughter came over to Public Works on Tuesday, and we were able to, you know, kind of have a little closure for the guys, because he's been the backbone there, and I know Rick and Ernie know that very well, and he will be missed. And services are Monday, 9 to 11 or 12, I think, at St. James right here. So if you can stop out, it'd be nice. Help with the family. So I ask for just a moment of silence for the Wireback family. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward, Lisa, could you read the Open Public Meetings announcement, please?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The agenda for this meeting is posted in City Hall and on the city's website.
Thank you. Would you leave the live stream announcement, please?
The City of Ventnor offers live streaming and the option of public comment via remote access as a convenience to the public. In the event remote access is unavailable for any reason beyond the city's control, the city will not pause or stop the live meeting. The city reserves the right to discontinue remote access at the discretion of the city for any future meetings.
Thank you. So for those not familiar with the format, where this is a workshop format first, we'll go through our items that are on the agenda and then we'll vote on them. There will be time for public comment for anything that is on the agenda here, and then open for any public of any comment at the end. So moving on, we have no presentations. We have no department head reports yet. We have no capital discussions, correct? And we are going to vote on the minutes for the February 27, 2025 regular meeting. And then we have 5 ordinance introductions, the first of which is 005, adopting the Ventnor Professional Campus Redevelopment Plan. Commissioner Landgraf, do you want to add some comments and color to that?
Yeah.
I see we have our.
I have my notes here and I put them somewhere. I got to find them. Here we go. Back.
And this is in regard to the Ventnor Professional Campus on Ventnor and Troy Avenue.
Yep.
Almost the entire block.
Yeah, it goes all the way back. Parts of it go all the way back to Winchester Avenue. So purpose of the redevelopment plan is to revitalize an area that has gone kind of dormant. Significant site along Ventnor Avenue, encompasses just about 2.3 acres. It's almost the entire city block. The back corner portion that is not part of the development is the Firehouse 1. So that's that location. Site's currently 2 large 2-story buildings, brick buildings. The building in the front, the old school, is going to stay as part of this project. The building on the back corner at Troy and Winchester would be demolished as part of what is moving forward with this project. Created a prime opportunity for mixed-use development, both residential and mixed use, so commercial in the front building and residential and townhomes behind it. And I know we have Mr. Plachter here. You have anything else you had to add to that? I mean, this process is the beginning. What'll happen after this is it'll go to our planning board. We'll direct our planning board to review it to be consistent with our master plan. Then it will come back to us with their recommendations of any changes. They do have concept plans that they will present to the planning board of what they think the project would look like. So
Comparatively speaking, just on a square footage basis, this is a massive space in the city of Ventnor.
Big.
Almost 2 acres, correct?
2.3.
2.3 acres compared to other. So that's part of the reason I think that it needs this kind of focus, is that there's so much of an impact on that part of the city. But
The concept that we've seen so far is that it started out with townhomes around the outside
Mhm.
and has morphed to more internal, preserves more of the exterior parking along both Troy and New Haven Avenue. That was the last design that we've seen. And I think that's what we're kind of hoping for. And that's
Yeah.
kind of where we're at. So
Yeah, I would just say that the idea to stimulate more, stimulate more residential growth in that
Mhm.
area is, I think, a positive. It's a way to increase the traffic in the downtowns and also to revitalize that area. So. if
Agreed.
anything else.
agreed. Jack, you have anything else on it?
No, I think. Took all my time.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yep.
This plan. For, your leadership, very encouraged. Thank you.
Okay, good. We will probably, and I didn't even tell this to Nicole yet, but I had a conversation with Tom today. We're looking to bring in Archer Griner. They have some folks that really do the redevelopment stuff and assist. I mean, if you guys, I'm perfectly comfortable if you guys want to plod through it, but okay. We'll talk about that afterwards, but I did have a conversation with them this morning. And we can work through it if you guys are, it's not rocket science. It's a great way to redevelop areas that have been sitting, that site has been dormant for quite some time
Yeah.
with very limited activity in the front building and almost none in the back.
Yeah. When we ran for office, that was basically an empty office building that had virtually no activity in it. So, so now I guess the next step is that it goes to the planning board, and the planning board will review some of the plans that are in place. Will they have much input on that? Is that the
So-
time to have input on the?
Multiple step process. So, and I'm probably stealing more of Jack's thunder with
Sorry, Jack.
explaining this. So it goes to the planning board. Their first review of it is just compliance or consistency with our master plan.
Right.
And then they will come back and report to us, our planner, Jim Rutella, and the planning board will report back to us in a letter format saying, yes, it's consistent with your master plan or it's not.
Right.
And then we'll take that from there. Then that creates the redevelopment plan. And then they go back, design the entire site right to the T, right
Right.
to everything, design the whole thing, submit that to the planning board. The planning board, instead of using our normal land use ordinances, will use that redevelopment plan to review it.
I see.
So Roger and the team will review it through that. And then
Right.
we're kind of out of it after that, except when they come back for the payment in lieu. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
all right.
Thanks. Broad strokes.
Yes, it is.
So today's ordinance will be adopting, the first step in adopting that.
Introducing it.
Introducing that plan, the introduction of that. 006 is amending chapter fees, chapter 114 fees for land use compliance. Do you have anything to add to that? But I think it's just a kind of updating them for this year.
It is, and it's consistent with the next
Next
three are the same kind of thing. We're being consistent with our surrounding communities. Our fees were low.
Right.
Tom did an analysis of what was our surrounding communities, and we were charging really low fees on them. So
Understood.
we had to cover our administrative costs.
Yep. Everything kind of has that same level of increases. So that counts for 007, which is chapter 114 fees for mercantile licensing, and And ordinance 008, which is housing standards, addresses seasonal certificates of occupancy.
Yep.
And then,
That's actually not it. That's just changing it. It's taking out, remove certificates, and it's now under the mercantile license.
I see.
Yeah, Mayor, they go together. And when we were drafting the ordinance for the first one, there was notation to this seasonal certificates of occupancy
Okay.
and another portion of it, which we no longer have.
I see.
So we're taking that out to make sure that they all go into the mercantile
Mercantile.
portion of it so that it's nice and clean.
Understood.
So they go together.
Great. I see now. And then the last 2025-009 is amending fees for the fishing pier. My understanding is that military and seniors has not changed, but the others have gone up somewhat incrementally for other
Correct.
fees.
Yeah.
Right?
And that again goes to our increased fees, our increased costs
Increased costs.
that
Yep.
we're dealing with.
If I may, one of the things that we're looking to do at the same time is to waive the fees for use of credit card or debit card for payment.
Right.
So the increase here is to help us to be able to take that burden off of the users and pay those fees ourselves. Amy was able to negotiate with the bank and get us a good rate. They'll supply the card readers. And so we can move forward
Oh, good.
with that and people can stop complaining about being charged fees.
Gotcha.
Got it. The
Gotcha.
card readers will be out at the pier inside and they're portable. So we can bring it back is what I'm saying in off season because it's just, it'll last 1 year if we leave it out there.
Yeah.
But there won't be a fee now that the public will be impacted by that, just
3%.
that
Correct.
processing fee.
Yes.
Great.
Good.
All right. Any other questions on those introductions?
Nope.
Then we have two ordinance hearings and adoption this evening. One is 003. That is entitled Claims for Payment Concerning Purchasing Procedures. This is the hearing and adoption of increasing the amount of threshold that requires signatures so that it, along with increased fees is increased costs that seem to more falls under that threshold than over that threshold that does not. So this kind of regulates that. and
Correct.
Saves a little bit of bureaucracy. And then 2025-004, also amending fees. This is dumpster and portable storage utility units. I think that's another one that kind of normalized to other local.
It's not, and adds a little more too. It's not even just fees. It allows, what they call them, the pods.
Right.
So if someone's working on their
Pod
home,
storage.
we allow them to keep them. Originally it was like 3 weeks. Some of these projects are a little bit more on their home, so they need to keep them for a little bit longer. So it extends the time and allows up to 3 extensions, I believe.
Great.
On the property, not in the street.
Right.
So,
And so this is a response to a need.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Item 12, we have a number of resolutions for consent and I don't know, and 2025-116 through, I believe we are adding some.
Yes,
On the
sir. You
bench?
could add resolution 124 and 125 from the bench this evening.
So the final is 125. Resolution 116 is a service agreement for CM3 HVAC maintenance services for this building and Public Works.
Yep.
Resolution 117 is another CM3 HVAC maintenance for the library and the Cultural Arts Center and Fire Station 1. And any other comments for that? I think it's
self-explanatory.
self-explanatory. Resolution 118 is through our engineer Ed Stinson to solicit, allowing him to solicit proposals for construction management inspection services for lead service line replacement phase 1.
Right.
Resolution 119 is authorizing a change order for construction of a new band shell. This is sidewalk and an apron that needs to be replaced, as well as a credit for the canopy.
Yes.
Right.
We didn't put the concrete in the original bid because we're worried about it tying in.
Right.
Now that we have that thing set up, we know where it's going to be. Ed said it's better just to get it in there, get them to do it while they're there.
Totally understand. They just have to keep their heavy equipment off it until they're done.
Yes. Yeah. That'll be the last thing to build is that apron.
120 is provisionally appointing Sari Applebaum to accountant. Amy, do you have any comments you want to add to that?
I have a statement from Commissioner Mento. It is fortunate I cannot be at the meeting tonight to vote on this promotion for Sari. Therefore, I'm asking the following comments to be made. Sari is a shining star at the city of Ventnor. She started with the city in 2014 as a clerk, was promoted in 2022 to senior clerk, and in 2023 to principal account clerk. Tonight, we have the honor of promoting her to accountant, which she has worked hard to attain and has shown over and over again her dedication to the city. Sari is smart, diligent, professional, and caring. Recently, she completed her final of 8 semester-length classes towards her certified municipal finance officer license. Having done this myself many years ago, I know what a commitment this is and also know it is not an easy accomplishment. Sari also is the city's wellness coordinator, keeping employees informed on health tips, organizing the employee health fair. At holiday time, she leads the Christmas drive. This is collecting gifts for the big brothers, big sisters. If you've had the opportunity to see the photos on our website of the gifts around the Christmas tree last year, it was a great success. I'm proud to see her promotion on our agenda for a vote. She is an excellent company tonight with a promotion also on the agenda for Danielle Manera to office manager for the construction office. Congratulations, Sari and Danielle.
Thank you, Amy. That's a good segue for resolution 121 for Danielle Monera. Lance, do you have any comments?
Also to comment on Sari's work. I mean, she's been a great asset to your space in the finance office. And we all get the emails on what we should be doing to be more healthy. We don't always follow them, but she does send them out. Again,
We get 'em.
yeah, we get them. We get them. I tried the walking thing. I'm doing better with the walking. So, happy to see that Danielle stepped up for this. She runs that office now. In the code office, she takes control of that space. Dino came to me and Tom and said, look, this really is something we could really do for her, and because she deserves it, one, and we need it too. So she's going to step into a little bit more of a role there. She's been doing it, as you said, Tom, but she'll have the official title now, office supervisor, office manager. She does take the lead and manages that office well for us. So that's all I got.
No, I agree.
Congrats to her.
Yep. I tested
Wasn't
her.
as eloquent as Maria was, but she got a chance to sit and write it all out. It's easier that way.
I tested Danielle's confidence, that's for sure. And then we go on to resolution 122. Similarly, this is a appointment of Queen Harvey to assistant comptroller. You have a comment for that, Tom?
No, this is the final
appointment.
step. She's already in this title and now is being made permanent after completing the requirements that civil service for a working test period.
So she'll begin her working test period.
Begin working.
Yeah,
test. She's finished the provisional status.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Resolution 123 is authorizing full-time employment for Public Works. You have a new hire.
Yes, we do. Charles Chuck Snowden came to us. He actually worked for Atlantic County Public Works years ago, relocated to Las Vegas with some family out there. Ended up not wanting to stay out there and has come back, and kind of good timing for us. He can operate most of the machinery that we have, and we look forward to bringing Chuck on board. It'll be not a huge learning curve for him.
Good.
So maybe bring in some tricks from the county public works
you go.
yard. So
Yeah. Great. Good to see. Resolution 124 added at the bench is construction management services for Paulstina Associates for rehabbing well number 5, not to exceed $47,700.
yep, we're going to start that rehabilitation. We're still going to try and do it before the summer. I think so. Yeah. We had to get it back on for July and August, especially with the lack of rain we've had. But,
Yeah.
so they're going to bring Palestina in to manage the construction part of that project.
Well, five, what's the location for that? Is that near,
Public Works.
Public Works? Resolution 125 is contract awarding, right to know responsibility compliance to the Joint Insurance Fund, with the Joint Insurance Fund to J. Montgomery for amount not to exceed $4,030. Sounds
I
self-explanatory.
just want to confirm something with Ernie. Ernie, well five is at Public Works, right?
Well, five is on the corner when you pull into the parking lot.
Right.
I'm starting to get where they all are.
Right, yeah, they're scattered around. That's why I asked. It was more for my
Yep.
curiosity. And that covers the resolutions. If there's any other comments, we'll have approval of the bills and payroll. I have no discussion items this
Yeah.
session, to my knowledge.
Commissioner comments though.
So, with that, I will open the commission chamber to, public portion. I have a motion to open public portion.
So moved?
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa?
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes, so we welcome any participation, interested parties, organizations, individuals to comment on any items that we've discussed so far in the commission workshop meeting. We ask to hold any other general comments to the end of the voting session. Any comments in the chambers? I see none. James, do you have any in the virtual space?
Anybody in Zoom wish to make a comment or question on any of the items that were discussed so far? No.
None? Okay, I have a motion to close public portion of the workshop
So
session.
moved?
Second, Lisa, roll call, please.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have a motion to close the public portion of the workshop and call to order the regular portion of the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second, Lisa, roll call.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have a motion to approve minutes of the February 27th regular session.
I'll make that motion.
Second, roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have introduction of ordinance 2025-1005. I have a motion to introduce that ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. We have a roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-006.
I'll make that motion as well.
I'll second.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. Thank you. I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-007.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-008 as described earlier.
Make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-009?
I'll make that motion.
Second, roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes, thank you. So we have ordinance for public hearing. May I have a motion to open public hearing for ordinance 2025-003? This is claims for payment.
I'll make that motion.
Second, roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. Anyone wishing to make public comment on that ordinance may speak now. Seeing none in the chambers. James, do you have any in the virtual format?
Anybody in Zoom wish to comment on ordinance 003? No.
Hearing none, may I have a motion to close public hearing on ordinance 003?
Motion to close.
Second, Lisa, roll call, please.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-003 as described.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Lisa, roll call, please.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. We have a ordinance for public hearing, 2025-004. Have a motion to open that for public hearing.
So moved.
Second, roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Any comments for in the chambers on dumpsters and portable storage units. Any, open that for public comments in the virtual space, James?
Anybody in Zoom wish to comment on ordinance 004? No.
No comments. May I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion to close.
Second, Lisa,
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
yes. A motion to adopt ordinance 2025-004.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa?
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. I'd like the motion to adopt by consent resolutions 2025-116 through 2025-125 as described in the workshop.
Make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa?
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. Okay. Everybody okay? Do we have approval of bills and payroll? Amy?
Payrolls for this period, $645,122.99.
1 penny. Couldn't get me 1 penny somewhere to get me zeroed out.
Working on it.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's really close.
The payables for this period is $2,223,714.16.
All right, excellent. Announcement, we have no announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. Vote to approve bills and payroll, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa?
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes, thank you, Lisa. We have no announcements and safety reports this evening. Commissioner comments and report. Lance, do you have any?
Yes. A couple things update on. Still waiting on the poles and cabinet controllers for the traffic signals on Ventnor Avenue. Anticipate the end of March. We've been hoping for that. Installation should be the first 2 weeks of April. Everything's ready. It's just kind of plug and play at that point, but excuse me, Somerset Avenue, sanitary sewer main, all service connections have been completed. Concrete crew replacing damaged gutter, curb, sidewalk, things of that nature. Final paving is set for mid-May after the trench settle. We let that settle out, kind of puddle it a little bit, let some water sit on it. Let traffic run over it so it settles out. Somerset basketball court, they paved it today. Because of the tight space, they're paving it first and then they'll put the concrete curb and then the backboard and stuff around it. Surface painting, they'll wait 30 to 45 days to let the oils out of the asphalt kind of settle to the bottom and get worn off through rain and whatever. And then they will paint the courts and we should be ready to go for the summer. Ventnor Gardens Plaza drainage, coming kind of a nightmare. Did a bunch of test pits out there. A lot of conflicts with gas lines, water lines. To put the plan is hopefully to put bigger, larger pipes there to run water to the pump station. So they're going through that process now, some design changes, and they should work, resume work should be in about 2 weeks. Band shell construction progressing, piles were installed, concrete pile caps are being poured today. Framing should be complete over the next 2 weeks. The contract does call for decking to be supplied by the city. Ed did check with that with DPW, and we have significant stock of E-Pay. So we'll be able to do that and provide that on the move. So the rest of the stuff's coming up, so I'm not going to go into that too much.
I'll just remind everyone to look at our website for upcoming events for the summer. Block party, I believe, is the first thing kind of kicks off our season. And I did notice that all our vendors are 80 vendors.
Sold out.
Is that right? 80 vendors for that block party? I know there was a couple seasons where it was I guess weather related. That's a great turnout for that particular block. So looking forward to that.
Had somebody reach out today to see if they could get snuck in, and Donna was able to accommodate them. So
Great.
81 vendors.
81 vendors. That's great. That's always a good kind of welcome to spring and gets everybody out there. I think it's a great event. So that with that we can end commissioner comments and reports, and may have a motion to open public comment.
So moved.
I'll second. Roll call, Lisa.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. So this is a portion where We have a short period of time where anybody can speak about anything they'd like to in the city of Ventnor. We just ask you to come up to the mic, state your name and address if you, for the record, and you have you can be, there's the mic right there. If you'd like to come up, you have 3 minutes of fame.
Or infamy.
Calloused. I'm calloused. Good evening, guys, ladies. Thanks for having me.
We just asked you to state your name
Oh,
and
sorry.
address. No, it's okay.
Fred Mello, 607B North Victoria Avenue.
Okay.
Shopping center is in my yard.
I'm sorry.
I was here a couple of years ago. We talked about when they were remodeling the shopping center and everything, and we had some compromises. You guys met us halfway, you know, I was happy with that. Now I just have a couple of complaints that maybe you guys can help me with. The lights in the parking lot, these LED lights, shine right in my house. I mean, they are so bright. They're tilted up. They're not even facing my house. They're kind of angled and up. Shines right in my house. My bedroom is in the back. I got shutters and it comes through the shutters. Maybe they could tilt them down or put a shield on one side, maybe to stop that from shining in.
So there is limitations on allowing light pollution to leave your property. We have an ordinance with that. So
That's in your favor and what he's
it's in your favor. Yeah, yeah.
No, I understand.
So what I can do is, I'll talk to Mark Greco, the owner of the plaza, and say, look, we've had some complaints. It is bright. I went by there. You can see it from the
I mean,
mainland.
it's nice.
It does. You're the one who lives there and you're seeing how bright it is.
Yeah, it
So
just,
we can certainly talk to Mark and see if there's something that he can do to angle them. I thought it was odd that they were angled up.
yeah,
So-
and very bright.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
bright.
the
Because, you know,
parking lots, you want bright, you want 2-foot candles to 2.5 in the middle of a parking lot, but not off property. And if it's going off property, he's in violation and we can talk to him about that.
well, I'd appreciate that. But I also have one more thing I want to speak about. The street. the road.
But before we move on, it'd be helpful if we had your address again, just.
He's
oh,
North
you got it?
Victoria, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
it's okay.
all right. Just because there's been other people that have complained about that and they've taken care of it, so it may not have gotten to your address. So anyway,
it's-
sorry to interrupt.
It's a one-way street coming in.
Right.
No, it's a two-way street. Everybody comes out that way. And, you know, there's a sign that says do not enter, but they go through it anyway. They peek out and then they zoom.
Hmm.
And then they zoom down to Wellington Avenue. Because if a car's coming the other way, and I've seen where they've had to back out
Hmm.
and let that car come through.
Maybe we can have some PD.
There's got to be, you know, with it getting busy in the summertime, there's going to be a lot more traffic coming in and out of that parking lot.
Yeah.
I got grandchildren that come and spend the summers. They play in my yard. I have neighbors that have children that play in them yards. Man, I'd hate to see one of them cars run like right through our fence. You know, it's crazy. It's just, I don't know if they need better signage.
I think there were some stop signs that fell over in a recent storm, and we did circle back to the owner with the police department. So
But that-
we are aware.
But them stoplights stop
Sign.
when they come in, going into the parking lot.
Yeah.
On the other side of them
I saw
stop
them
signs
down on that side.
are do not enter signs.
Yeah,
Too big do not enter signs.
right.
They come right through it.
Yeah, but thank you for bringing it up. We'll work through it with.
The pizza place in the plaza. Well, their delivery guy, I guess they go out the back.
Is it them that's doing it?
Well, they're one of them.
Okay.
And because he comes all the way through from the other end and straight through. And yeah, I'm out there a lot. Unfortunately, I smoke.
Mhm.
So I'm always on my deck in the back and I watch all this traffic. And it's like, I said, I'm just thinking about the summertime,
Yeah,
how it's going to be.
Well, if it's their tenants doing it, I can have that conversation with
Well-
Mark and ask him to put it
Well-
back out there to those folks. You can talk with Pete.
Well, that was just
You
an
got it.
example of
I get it.
I get it.
when I
But if
watch,
it's
but
a known entity,
it's,
we can address that more easily.
And they've been very helpful.
Yeah.
Very cooperative about these kinds of things and usually take care of it within a day or a few days. So we'll bring it up. We've had other complaints on that. But I think it's getting used to that, the property's new use, you know, it's the activity and the lights and the traffic pattern. It was always two ways before. I already
No.
used it, you know,
No.
in the past.
No,
No, I mean,
I've been there over 30 years.
there wasn't a road there. I mean,
There was
an
a
entrance.
road.
There was an entrance and an exit. It was further up. Yeah. It
What?
was
No,
closed
it
off.
was just an entrance.
It was just an entrance.
And there were signs that said, do not enter.
Okay.
And cars used to go out that way also, not
Yeah.
to go the
Now it's
other way.
closer.
But I didn't care. You know,
So
that's
the-
over there.
The roadway, I think from the one gentleman's driveway is two-way out, but not from the plaza. The plaza is supposed to be one way in only.
Right.
But the one guy had his drive, I don't know if that's your house where the driveway is on that road, Victoria? The corner house has a driveway.
Oh, no, that's not my
So
house.
that's why we had to keep that end of it
That's the
wide
corner.
enough.
No, I
Could be-
understand. Guess what? It makes it easier for the trailers, the tractor trailers to
Right.
make that turn in
Yeah.
there. I had no problem with that. It was just,
We had to push, so the New Jersey Transit actually came to us and they wanted them to change and run the buses there. And we said, no, that was part of his site plan approval that they couldn't do that. So we actually, we held our ground with that. So
Right.
well, that was a good thing.
Brian.
Well, that was a
Brian.
good thing. I know there was a couple of things the last time I was here that we resolved, but
Yep.
I'd appreciate if.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Good seeing you again, Fred.
Seen a lot of activity out there, much more pedestrian traffic as well.
Yeah.
Whenever you're there.
How you doing, Mr. Kribel?
Yeah.
Mr. Gray. I'm Adam Maltina. I'm the one that was emailing you.
Yeah.
With Mr. Greco.
Your address and please, for the rest.
Adam Maltino, 609B Victoria Ave.
Right.
My backyard literally faces that intersection right behind the house. I was the one talking about the signs, asking if there could be more signage. Basically parlaying what Freddie said.
Right.
Everything he's having an issue with. Essentially, I addressed it with him and I believe my neighbor Brian, who touches my house. He's 609A. I'm 609B. I believe he was here at the last meeting.
Mhm.
But the lights, they shine bright. I believe that'd be a great resolution to point them down with the shields, because prior to that, they weren't pointed up, they were pointed down. And I think that could be an easy resolution, just to point them down.
Yeah.
Both the ones that face us and the ones that face the shopping center.
Uh-huh.
You have to say something? I'm sorry.
No.
And just more signage. And then, like he says, you see the one driver for, I guess, the pizza place, but every couple of minutes you see a car going through that stop sign, and the police are right there and never stop anybody that goes. Like, that's where they park prior. They usually sit outside over there, and you see people going out and speeding like he does, but you never see anybody get pulled over for making that wrong turn. And like he said, their speed, they make that turn, just try to beat the cop, but the cop ironically never pulls them over. I think if a cop would just be parked right there and just deter people from going that
Right.
direction. But yeah, I just had a son. I know Brian, he has a young kid. Enrique has a young daughter, and all our kids are gonna be playing in the backyard. I just think that's especially with the summer coming, and that parking lot's gonna get really busy, and I just concerned about that, something going in our back of our house.
Mhm.
And the lights too. Obviously, the lights I would like, Mr. Greco has always been a gentleman to me. I appreciate, he's always, every time I ask him to do something, he would help me. But I know it's been like 2 weeks since I asked, and it's like, I just have my son and he sleeps in our room. So my room's as bright as a candle.
Mm.
So it's very light, my room. So I would just appreciate, still help and support in your end. And I appreciate, everything you have done. But
Yeah.
thank you.
I'll bring it up again to the police department and Lance will follow.
Just a question to Nicole. Title 49, can we verify that we had Mark allow that to occur on his site? Title 49 gives our cops
Yes.
the ability to write tickets for
Right.
those stop signs that are on the property.
Right.
Just want to make sure we got our
Yeah.
ducks in a row. We don't want to write a violation and not be able to do it. So,
They don't have the jurisdiction. on
but the stop signs on private property, they do not enter if they're violating that. So that's,
They don't have the jurisdiction on the private property.
right. So if that's what we want to make sure we have.
Yep, we can check.
I think it's 49, right?
I believe so.
We're 950, 51.
So we're just checking to make sure that we can
Yeah,
write tickets.
We can
in
get
there.
it done. Yeah.
I just think it would be a good deterrent if you had a cop there anyway, just looking at them, not
Yeah.
going that way.
Yep.
But,
I would bet we do because it was a shopping center before, but just
Yeah.
to make sure to give the police the right
Yeah.
tools to solve the problem.
Yeah.
We'll follow up.
Thank you again for your time. I appreciate
Thank
everything.
you. Thanks for coming in.
out. All right, I'll talk to Mark about both of them.
Hmm?
He was away.
Yeah.
Afternoon, everybody.
How are you?
My name is Enrique Vargas. I live at 611A North Victoria Avenue.
Mhm.
And just backing up my neighbors, same situation. It's really, really bright. It wasn't a problem a couple of weeks before, and then all of a sudden it's just got really, really bright. I have black shutters and black curtains, and it still peeks through a little bit. But, if you guys can do something about it, that'll be great, man. Thank
Yep.
you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. So we appreciate your comments and we'll follow up. And I know you have your email, so you'll hear from us either through email or at the meeting. You're more than welcome to come out
You
again.
can see that the lights aren't blinding anyone.
Yeah, I mean, the cause and effect was that the existing lights were failing and they replaced them all. So it's a part of the benefit of the rest of the parking lot being well lit for people when they're going in those, yeah. So it's part of the learning curve there for the situation. But thank you for coming in. If there's no other comments, any comments are you guys complete? If you have any comments in the Zoom,
Anybody in Zoom wish to make any comment on any items? Nope.
seeing none, do I have a motion to close public comment for this evening?
So moved.
Second, roll call, Lisa?
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes. Right, this evening we,
Just add a quick comment to the earlier discussion about the credit cards and debit cards and the fishing pier fees. We're going to be waiving the user fees in all departments. So the construction office, anybody using a credit or debit card will not be charged the fees. And the only place that we're going to be accepting cash will be in the clerk's office.
Good.
So the fishing pier, there's no cash transactions. If somebody there insists on using cash during the week, they have to come to the clerk's office.
Okay.
Great.
All right. I don't think you can actually charge user fees for debit cards.
Well, that, one of the problems, Lance, was that the previous company we were using, everything went through as a credit card. They didn't accept debit
Gotcha.
payments. So that's why those fees were being generated. So this fixes that. People can have the option of using credit or debit.
Good.
thank you. Any other comments? I believe we have an executive session this evening, so we have, we do.
We have a brief executive session on the litigation
Okay.
that was filed.
Yep.
So we'd be going into that just for a very brief update on the Carisbrook versus City of Ventnor. It would be a closed session because of litigation and attorney-client privilege.
So Jim,
And no action would be taken
no
at the end
action.
of the closed session.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act permits the discussion of certain matters within executive session as an exception to certain provisions of said law. The Ventnor City Board of Commissioners wishes to discuss certain matters which qualify as exceptions in executive session. No action binding upon the Board of Commissioners will be taken within executive session, and the discussion conducted in closed session will be disclosed to the public when legally permitted and when the public interest is no longer to be served by keeping such matters confidential.
Okay, we're back in regular session. We had a closed session to briefly update the commissioners on the status of the pending litigation. Falls under attorney-client privilege, and minutes will be released whenever the litigation is closed and as defined by the law.
Thank you. Coming to item 33, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, Lisa, roll call, please.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
Mayor Kribel?
Yes.
45.
Good job, everybody.